Good morning, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join me today. My name is Ais Rista, and I'm delighted to speak with you about a topic that sits at the heart of quality early childhood education: building strong collaborative partnerships with families and communities. I want to begin by acknowledging that every child's development is shaped not only by their experiences with the early learning settings, but also by the relationships they have at home and within their wider community. As educators, it is our role to recognize and honor these relationships by fostering strong, respectful, and collaborative partnerships. Today, I will be discussing the most important of these partnerships, how they align with the national quality standards and the early years learning framework, and practical strategies for supporting, engaging, and respecting families to enhance children's learning, inclusion, and development. When I think about what makes a partnership effective, I think of respect, trust, communications, and shared goals. In early childhood education, collaborative partnership means working alongside families, not above them, to support the learning and well being of every child. When educators actively engage with the families, they gain valuable insights into children's culture background, interest, and learning preferences. This knowledge enables us to design the learning experiences that are meaningful, relevant, and inclusive. Research consistently demonstrates that when families are engaged in early childhood education, children demonstrate higher level of social competence, cognitive skills, and the emotional well-being. So Epstein highlights that effective family school partnership increases student motivation and engagement and promote lifelong learning habits. In the context of early childhood, these partnerships allow children to feel secure and valued, which supports their ability to take risks, explore new concepts, and development autonomy. The National Quality Standards provides clear guidelines for fostering collaborative partnerships with the families and communities. Especially, Quality Area 6 focus on ensuring that service work collaboratively with families and community partnerships to enhance children's learning and well-being. Within Standard 6.1 emphasizes that families are respected, welcomed, and actively encouraged to participate in decision making regarding their children's learning and well-being. And Standard 6.2 focus on establishing partnership with community, organization, and network that enhance children's learning, development, and inclusion. By adhering to these standards, we ensure that our communication with families is reciprocal, respectful, and responsive. For example, in my service, we hold regular family meetings at the beginning of and end of each term. These meetings provide opportunity for parents to share their child interest, family traditions, and learning goals. And this approach not only aligns with Quality Area 6, but also strengthens trust and builds a shared understanding between families and educators. Now let's talk about the EYLF principles. The UILF builds on this by embedding principles that directly link to our partnership practices: secure, respectful, and reciprocal relationship, partnership with families, respect for diversity, and the high expectations and equity. These principles remind me that working with family isn't just about sharing information, it's about co-constructing knowledge. Families are the most influential teachers of their children. When we truly listen to their perspectives, we gain insight into a children's culture, values, routine, and identity. The practice outlined in the EYLF also strengthened in this relationship. For example, intentional teaching allow me to plan experience that build on what families share about their children. Cultural competence helps me to engage respectfully with diverse family backgrounds. Learning through play provides opportunity to connect home and service experiences in meaningful ways. Research constantly shows that when families are actively engaged in their child's education, children demonstrate greater confidence, stronger learning outcomes, and higher levels of well-being. According to Einstein framework of school, family, and the community partnership, collaboration creates shared responsibilities for a child's growth and success. In my experience, families bring unique knowledge that enrich our curriculum. For example, when a parent shared a traditional stories, song, or cultural practice, it's not only enhanced children's understanding of identity and diversity, but also promotes well-being and inclusion. Building partnership also supports smoother transitions. For instance, when children move between home, early learning, and school environment, environments, the sense of consistency and connection across settings help children feel secure, confident, and ready to explore. The EYLF outlines 5 key learnings outcomes for children, each of which is supported by strong partnerships with families and communities. Let's talk about the strong sense of identity. Collaborative relationship with families help children feel secure, valued, and included. Sharing family stories, culture traditions, and personal experiences in the learning environment support children's sense of belonging. Let's talk about the children connection to contribute the world, which means that community partnerships such as visit to local libraries, cultural centers, or environmental projects help children to develop a sense of responsibilities and connection to their community. Talking about the strong sense of well-being. Families provide a critical insight into children's emotions and physical needs, which allow educators to provide consistent support across home and early learning environments. And children are confident and involved learners. By incorporating knowledge of children's home experience and interest, educators can design activities that engage children, fostering curiosity, problem-solving skills, and persistence. Children are effective communicators. When families are actively involved in sharing information about their child, communication skills are enforced both at home and in the early learning settings. Through these outcomes, partnerships directly enhance children's learning, development, and inclusion. Early childhood services serve families from diverse cultural, linguistic, social, and economic backgrounds. Building strong partnerships require recognizing and respecting this diversity. Service can remove barriers by providing translated materials, using visual communication tools, and offering flexible meeting time to accommodate working families. A strength-based approach focuses on the knowledge, skills, and experiences that families bring, rather than only challenges or deficits. For example, greeting families in their home language, celebrating multicultural events, or inviting parents to share cultural stories within the curriculum demonstrates respect and enhance inclusion. According to the Australian Institute of Family Studies, services that implement culturally responsive partnership strategies experience high family engagement and satisfaction. Collaborating with local organizations strengthens children's learning experiences and support families. Some examples include local libraries. Storytime programs promotes literacy and engagement with the books, health services. Partnerships with nurses and allied health professionals provide vision and hearing checks promoting well-being. Cultural organizations, collaborations with indigenous elders support culture awareness and reconciliation. Environmental projects, engagement with community gardens or recycling initiatives teaches sustainability, and collaborative with local schools ensuring smooth transitions and continuity of learning. Each of these partnerships links directly to EYLF outcomes, helping children feel connected to the community while enhancing learning opportunity. Assessment in early childhood education extends beyond measuring learning outcomes. It also evaluates the effectiveness of partnerships. Tools such as learning stories, portfolios, observations, and digital platforms like Story Park allow families to engage in their child's learning journey. Collecting and analyzing feedback from families through surveys or informal conversations provide insight into how well partnerships are working and where improvements can be made. Moderation strategies, including team reflections and discussion, ensure that assessment practices are consistent and fair. Fleet Patterson and Robertson highlights that documenting and sharing children's learning makes the educational process visible to families, fostering transparency and collaboration. Now, I'd like to talk about the practical side of building partnerships, the strategies that help us engage, respect, and truly connect with families. Strong partnerships don't just happen by chance, they are built intentionally through ongoing communication, trust, and mutual respect. Every family is unique and every relationship requires time and genuine effort. Let's look at some of the ways we put this into practice at our service. First, active listening. When we listen carefully to families, not just to respond, but to understand, we gain powerful insight into a child's world. Parents and carers knows their children best, and by hearing your stories, experiences, and challenges, we can plan experiences that reflect your child's interests, routines, and values. For example, when a parent shared that their child loved gardening at home, we create a small herb garden at the center. Now it's one of the most loved space. Second, two-way communication. Communication is most effective when it is goes both ways. Instead of educators simply providing updates, we invite families to share feedback and ideas too. We do this through newsletters, informal chats, parents' meeting, and digital platforms like StoryPark or Kinderloop. This helps create transparency and ensures that families remain active participants in the child's learning journey. Third, shared decision making. Collaborative decision making is one of the strongest ways to show respect and partnership. This might mean inviting parents to help shape our curriculum themes, contribute to service policies, or co-organize culture and community events. For example, when we celebrated Harmony Week, we worked closely with families to plan food, music, and storytelling that represented each child's background. It was not only fun but also deeply meaningful for children who felt proud to share a piece of their identity. Fourth, strength based approaches. This means recognizing that every family has unique skills, knowledge, and experiences to contribute rather than focusing on challenges or differences. We celebrate what families bring. One parents may have garden expertise, another may share traditional songs, while another might volunteer to read stories in their home language. Each of these contributions enriches the learning environment and sends children a powerful message that their family is valued and respected here. Fifth, cultural responsiveness. Cultural responsiveness goes beyond celebrating cultural days. It means being aware of each family tradition, routines, language, and values, and weaving those into everyday curriculum. For example, if a family observes specific greetings or mealtime traditions, we can mirror those practices in the classroom. This helps children feel a sense of belonging and continuity between home and care. The EYLF principle of respect for diversity reminds us that children's learning flourishes when their culture identities are acknowledged and affirmed. When we truly respect families' diverse perspective, children develop pride in who they are and empathy for others. Finally, community involvement. Partnership extend beyond the service itself. When families and educators connect with the wider community, children develop strong social connections and a deeper understanding of their world. We regularly invite community members like local artists, health professionals, or elders to share their knowledge with children. We also encourage families to attend community events or contribute their expertise. For example, one of our parents, who is a nurse, visited to talk to children about healthy habits. The children were so engaged, and the visit strengthened the bridge between home, school, and community. Research by Rouse and O'Brien highlights that trust and reciprocity are the heart of effective partnership. When educators demonstrate respect, openness, and professionalism, families feel more comfortable sharing their perspectives. This creates a sense of mutual investment. We are not just educators and parents working separately. We are a team working together for the same goal, your child's well-being and success. By combining these strategies, active listening, two-way communication, shared decision-making, strength-based practice, cultural responsiveness, and community engagement, we create a learning environment where every family feels welcomed, valued, and empowered to take part in child learning journey. Ultimately, partnership thrives when families know their voices matters, when your input shapes what we do every day with your children. Finally, I want to talk about something that keeps all of this strong, that is reflection. As educators, reflection is an essential part of how we grow and maintain meaningful partnerships with families and communities. It's about taking a step back and asking ourselves important questions such as, do all families feel equally welcomed and heard? Are we representing every culture, language, and family story fairly in our environment? Are we communicating in ways that truly reach everyone, not just the families we see most often? These questions help us notice our own biases and assumptions, which we all have even without realizing it. For example, we might naturally connect more with families who share our language or culture background. Reflecting helps us identify those patterns and make sure every family feels included, respected, and valued. The Early Years Learning Framework reminds us through its principle of ongoing learning and reflective practice that educators should always be learning, adapting, and growing alongside children, families, and communities. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being open to listening, questioning, and improving together. In our service, we reflect in many ways. Team reflecting meetings where educators discussed what's working well in family engagement and what could be improved. Professional development sessions where we explore culture responsiveness, inclusion and communication strategies. Family feedback service and conversations where your voice guide how we shape our program and communication method. For example, last term, after families shared that afternoon pickups times were too busy for meaningful conversations, we introduced a short family connection board. Parents can jot down notes or updates about their child interest or routines, and educators use that information to plan activities that connect home and school experiences. This kind of reflections, listening, adjusting, and improving builds trust. It shows families that their voices truly matters, that we are committed to growing together. Ultimately, reflection keeps our partnerships alive and evolving. It helps us create a learning environment where every family feel heard, respected, and part of their child educational journey. In conclusion, partnership between families, communities, and educators are essential to your child's learning and development. When we work together, children feel secure, included, and confident. Families are respected, valued, and actively involved. Communities and local organizations support meaningful learning experiences. Your engagement, no matter how small, makes a real difference. Sharing your child stories, participating in events, or simply communicating with us help us create learning experience that are relevant, inclusive, and joyful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to continuing to build these strong partnerships with you all to ensure all the best possible learnings and development opportunity for your children. Thank you.